Boundary Park was once the pride of the cricketing community, hosting thrilling matches and epic showdowns. But beneath its hallowed grounds lay a dark secret, a secret that would soon be unearthed. During a routine maintenance check, groundskeepers stumbled upon a hidden chamber beneath the stadium. Inside, they found ancient artifacts and cryptic symbols etched into the walls. Unbeknownst to them, they had disturbed the resting place of an ancient deity whose wrath knew no bounds. From that day forward, strange occurrences plagued Boundary Park. Players reported hearing disembodied voices echoing across the field, while groundskeepers spoke of eerie apparitions wandering the corridors after dark. The once bustling stadium became a place of dread, its once admired beauty tainted by the curse that lurked beneath. Despite attempts to exorcise the malevolent spirit, Boundary Park remains haunted to this day. Its once vibrant atmosphere replaced by an aura of fear and foreboding, a grim reminder of the price paid for disturbing forces beyond human comprehension. As the championship match reached its climax, tensions ran high in the packed cricket stadium. The crowd roared with excitement as the final overs played out on the field. But amidst the fervor, a shadowy figure appeared on the electronic scoreboard, a figure that was not of this world. Players and spectators alike watched in horror as the shadow morphed and shifted, taking on an ominous form. Whispers spread throughout the stadium, tales of a vengeful spirit seeking retribution for past wrongs. Panic ensued as the shadow descended from the scoreboard, casting a pall of darkness over the field. In a desperate bid to appease the spirit, the match was halted, and prayers were offered to the unknown entity. But as quickly as it had appeared, the shadow vanished, leaving behind a sense of unease that lingered long after the final ball had been bowled. To this day, the shadow on the scoreboard remains a mystery, a haunting reminder of the supernatural forces that lurk within the confines of the cricket stadium. During a crucial match at the cricket stadium, players and spectators were stunned to see an unfamiliar figure emerge onto the field. Dressed in the attire of a cricket umpire, the phantom figure appeared spectral and ethereal, its features obscured by a veil of mist. As the match progressed, the phantom umpire made controversial decisions, favoring one team over the other. Players protested in vain as the ghostly figure remained unmoved, its judgment final and absolute. Spectators watched in horror as the match descended into chaos, the outcome tainted by the influence of the supernatural. After the match, attempts were made to uncover the identity of the phantom umpire, but all efforts proved futile. Some speculated that it was the spirit of a disgruntled official seeking justice from beyond the grave, while others dismissed it as a trick of the light. Regardless of the truth, the legend of the phantom umpire lives on, a cautionary tale for those who dare to challenge the rules of the game. In the heart of the cricket stadium, echoes of past defeats reverberated through the empty corridors. Once a symbol of triumph and glory, the stadium now stood as a monument to failure, a reminder of the price paid for hubris and arrogance. Long after the final match had been played, the spirits of defeated players lingered within the stadium's crumbling walls, their anguished cries echoing through the night. Each defeat etched into the very fabric of the stadium, a testament to the relentless pursuit of victory at any cost. Visitors who dared to venture into the abandoned stadium spoke of a palpable sense of despair that hung in the air, as if the very essence of defeat had seeped into the soil itself. Some claimed to have seen ghostly apparitions wandering the empty stands, their eyes filled with sorrow and regret. As the years passed, the once grand cricket stadium fell into disrepair, its faded glory a stark contrast to the memories of triumph that once filled its halls. And though the echoes of defeat may fade with time, the haunting legacy of the stadium lives on, a cautionary tale for those who dare to tempt fate. It was said that the cricket stadium was cursed by the spirit of a former team captain whose thirst for victory knew no bounds. Legend had it that he made a pact with dark forces to ensure his team's success, but the price of his ambition was steep. As each match unfolded, the captain's influence grew, his presence looming over the field like a specter of doom. Opposing teams faltered under the weight of his curse, their hopes dashed by a force they could not comprehend. But victory came at a cost, as tragedy befell those who dared to challenge the captain's reign. Players suffered mysterious injuries, equipment malfunctioned, and matches ended in chaos as the curse tightened its grip on the stadium. Despite attempts to break the curse, it endured, its power undiminished by the passage of time. The cricket stadium became a place of dread, its once hallowed grounds tainted by the malevolent spirit that haunted its halls. And though the captain's reign had long since ended, his curse lived on, a grim reminder of the price paid for victory at any cost. As night fell over the cricket stadium, a sense of unease settled over the empty stands. Shadows danced in the moonlight, twisting and contorting into sinister shapes that seemed to watch and wait. Visitors who ventured into the deserted stadium spoke of strange whispers that echoed through the night, their words unintelligible yet filled with malice. Some claimed to have seen shadowy figures lurking in the darkness, their eyes gleaming with an otherworldly light. Despite its eerie reputation, the cricket stadium remained a popular venue for matches and events, drawing crowds from far and wide. But as the sun dipped below the horizon, the true nature of the stadium revealed itself, a place where the line between the living and the dead blurred. And though many dismissed the tales of hauntings and curses as mere superstition, those who had felt the chill of the stadium's shadowy embrace knew better. For in the heart of the cricket stadium, secrets whispered in the night, waiting to be uncovered by those brave enough to seek the truth. During a friendly match at the cricket stadium, players were startled to see a spectral figure emerge onto the field. Dressed in the uniform of a cricket bowler, the phantom figure glided across the pitch with an otherworldly grace, its movements fluid and unnatural. As the match progressed, the phantom bowler took his position at the crease, his ghostly form barely visible in the fading light. With a silent sweep of his arm, he sent the ball hurtling towards the batsman, his aim true and deadly. Players watched in horror as the ball passed through the batsman's defenses, striking him with an impact that echoed across the stadium. The batsman crumpled to the ground, his body racked with pain as the phantom bowler vanished into thin air. Despite attempts to explain away the incident as a trick of the light, the memory of the phantom bowler lingered in the minds of those who had witnessed his spectral presence. And though the match continued, the shadow of the phantom bowler cast a pall of fear over the stadium, a reminder of the dangers that lurked within its hallowed grounds. Once hailed as champions of the cricketing world, the team that called the stadium home was plagued by misfortune and tragedy. Despite their past successes, they found themselves locked in a downward spiral of defeat and despair, their once unstoppable momentum grinding to a halt. Rumors of a curse began to circulate among the players, whispered tales of a vengeful spirit seeking retribution for past transgressions. Some claimed to have seen ghostly apparitions wandering the corridors of the stadium, their eyes filled with an otherworldly light. As losses mounted and morale plummeted, the team sought to break free from the curse that held them in its grip. But each attempt ended in failure, as the malevolent spirit tightened its hold on the stadium and all who dared to challenge its power. In the end, the team was forced to abandon the stadium, their dreams of glory shattered by forces beyond their control. And though the stadium stood silent and empty, its legacy endured, a cautionary tale of the dangers that lurked beneath the surface of success. As the sun set behind the towering lights of the cricket stadium, a lone figure ventured onto the deserted field. The silence was eerie, broken only by the faint chirping of crickets. The man, a former cricket player, had come to relive his glory days. But as he stepped onto the pitch, he felt a chill run down his spine. Suddenly, the floodlights flickered and died, plunging the stadium into darkness. Panic set in as he realized he was not alone. Ghostly figures clad in cricket whites emerged from the shadows, their eyes glowing with a malevolent light. They were the spirits of players who had met tragic ends on the field, seeking revenge on the living. Terrified, the man tried to flee, but he found himself trapped within the confines of the stadium. With nowhere to run, he faced the wrath of the vengeful spirits, condemned to spend eternity haunting the very grounds where they had met their demise. Legend had it that the cricket stadium was built atop an ancient burial ground, cursed by the spirits of the disgruntled souls buried beneath. Despite the warnings, the stadium was a popular venue for matches, drawing crowds from far and wide. One fateful night, during a high-stakes match, strange occurrences began to unfold. Players reported feeling an otherworldly presence on the field, their movements hindered by invisible forces. Spectators whispered of shadowy figures lurking in the stands, their eyes glowing with a sinister light. As tensions rose, chaos erupted. Players and spectators alike fled in terror as the curse of the cricket stadium revealed its true power. The once thriving venue was abandoned, deemed too dangerous for human habitation. To this day, locals steer clear of the cursed grounds, lest they awaken the wrath of the restless spirits. In the depths of the cricket stadium, a lone figure wandered the deserted corridors, his footsteps echoing through the empty halls. He was the forgotten umpire, a relic of matches long past, condemned to wander the stadium for eternity. Once a respected official, he had made a controversial decision that cost his team victory in a crucial match. In the aftermath, he vanished without a trace, his fate a mystery to all who knew him. Now, his spirit roamed the stadium, condemned to relive the final moments of that fateful match again and again. Visitors to the stadium claimed to hear his voice calling out for justice, his anguished cries echoing through the night. Despite countless attempts to exorcise the umpire's spirit, he remained bound to the stadium, his presence a chilling reminder of the price paid for a single moment of hubris. On the eve of a championship match, the cricket stadium played host to an unexpected audience, ghostly spectators who materialized in the stands under the cover of darkness. Their ethereal forms swayed in unison as they watched the players take the field, their eyes gleaming with an otherworldly light. As the match unfolded, the spectral spectators grew restless, their whispers rising to a fevered pitch. Some claimed to have seen the ghostly figures reaching out to touch the players, their icy fingers sending shivers down their spines. Despite attempts to banish the spirits from the stadium, they remained stubbornly rooted to their seats, their presence casting a pall of fear over the match. And though the players tried to ignore their ghostly audience, the chill of their gaze lingered long after the final ball had been bowled. Deep within the cricket stadium, hidden from prying eyes, stood the haunted pavilion, a place of shadows and secrets where the spirits of past players lingered in the darkness. Visitors who dared to enter the pavilion spoke of strange sounds that echoed through the corridors, whispers carried on the wind that spoke of forgotten rivalries and unfinished business. Some claimed to have seen apparitions moving among the shadows, their faces twisted in agony as they relived past defeats. Despite warnings to stay away, curious souls continued to explore the haunted pavilion, drawn by the lure of the unknown. But as night fell and the darkness closed in, they soon realized that some secrets were better left undisturbed. Legend had it that the cricket stadium was built upon cursed ground, the site of an ancient burial ground disturbed by the construction of the stadium. As a result, the wicket itself was said to be cursed, bringing misfortune to all who dared to play upon it. Players who took the field found themselves plagued by inexplicable accidents and injuries, their movements hindered by unseen forces. Matches descended into chaos as balls veered off course and bats shattered into splinters, the wicket exacting its toll on all who dared to challenge its power. Despite attempts to lift the curse, it endured, its grip on the stadium growing stronger with each passing day. And though the cricket stadium remained a popular venue for matches and events, the shadow of the curse loomed large over its hallowed grounds. During a high-stakes match at the cricket stadium, players were stunned to see a phantom boundary appear out of thin air. As the ball sailed towards the boundary line, it passed through the ghostly barrier as if it were not there, leaving the fielders bewildered and the crowd in uproar. Despite attempts to explain away the phenomenon as a trick of the light, the phantom boundary continued to haunt the stadium, appearing at random intervals during matches. Players grew wary of the cursed line, knowing that any ball that crossed it was doomed to disappear into the ether. In the end, the cricket stadium became synonymous with the phantom boundary, its reputation tarnished by the specter of defeat that haunted its hallowed grounds. And though matches continued to be played within its walls, the memory of the phantom boundary lingered, a reminder of the strange and sinister forces that lurked beneath the surface.